And the OBR have today revised down our growth forecast for 2025 from 2% in the autumn to 1% today.
The Office for Budget Responsibility, the OBR, gave us some sobering news today, halving the UK's growth forecast for 2025 from 2% to just 1%. The OBR points to two key factors for this cut. Number one is structural weaknesses, particularly in productivity. And number two is cyclical factors like higher interest rates, increased gas prices, and global economic uncertainty. Although it's not all doom and gloom, the OBR does project growth to improve in the coming years, as you can see on screen now. In 2026, they're predicting a 1.9% increase. In 2027, this is 1.8%. For 2028, it's 1.7%. And finally, in 2029, it's 1.8%. Inflation does remain a concern, with the OBR forecasting an average of 3.2% this year. However, they do expect it to fall to 2.1% in 2026 and then hit the Bank of England's 2% target from 2027 onwards. In addition to inflation, mortgage rates have also been negatively impacted for borrowers. Unfortunately, the OBR does predict that mortgage rates will rise from 3.7% in 2024 to 4.7% in 2028 and then stay there in 2029. This is higher than previously forecast. Therefore, if you are a homeowner or looking to buy a house, you might want to consider this in your financial planning. Now, here's a statistic that might raise some eyebrows. The UK's tax burden is set to reach 37.7% of GDP by 2027-2028. This is the highest level since World War II. While the Chancellor didn't announce any new tax increases in the statement, previous measures are contributing to this high tax burden. These include frozen income tax thresholds until 2028 and increases in the employer national insurance contributions from 13.8% to 15% starting April 2025. It is worth noting that while the NI increases is officially a tax on employers, the OBR does estimate that 76% of this cost will ultimately be passed on to workers through lower real wages. The Chancellor has admitted she is walking a tightrope between fiscal responsibility and investing for growth. Without the measures announced in this statement, the government was facing a deficit of £4.1 billion by 2029-2030. However, Reeves claims that her interventions will turn this around, projecting a surplus of £6 billion in 2027 to 2028, £7.1 billion in 2028 to 29, and £9.9 billion in 2029 to 30. To achieve this, she's told us that some tough decisions have been made. Day-to-day spending growth has reduced from 1.3% to 1.2% per year, above inflation. And departments outside of health and defence could face cuts of up to 11% of their budgets.